Welcome to my state of mind here on WPRI.com. Now, the television show is up and running. Our first week back after multiple weeks of repeats based on COVID-19 logistics situations, but we are Zooming television shows, and tonight our conversation has much to do with the restaurateurs and some common ground and not so common ground that they have in trying to push the governor back into a little bit of accelerated phase. A lot of phasing conversation today happened when the governor tried to explain that a phase one lasts a month, not 2 weeks. And there seemed to be some surprise amongst the media during the press conference about that. I have no idea why that would surprise anybody. If a phase is 2 weeks, it takes 2 weeks to evaluate it based on the COVID-19 protocols. So I was never confused about that. Maybe I was the only one, but the governor did a little bit of a timid apology for perhaps miscommunicating that. I didn't think she had to, but there you go. In the meantime, we have ourselves a situation and a half going on in Narragansett, where the town council there is looking at a resolution vote on Monday night to completely shun what the governor has done on phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, whatever. They more or less had said, you know what, we're going to open up the churches, we're going to open up the restaurants, we're going to open up the businesses, we're going to open up this place. And while it has a peculiar gray area in terms of force of law, given that it's a resolution, it directs the Narragansett Police Department to use discretion and not fine or enforce any of the regulations that are in place. It is by far, in all my tenure here, in the top couple most irresponsible government moves I have seen. And I've seen a lot, and maybe so have you. Anarchy, mutiny, you name it, it isn't. And Matthew Mannix, the town council president, seems to be the sponsor of this. I haven't had a chance to speak with him, although I did talk to two town councilors on the radio on WPRO weekdays 3 to 6 earlier today, and they indicated they were voting no, which tells me, by Bertie of Narragansett Way, that it's likely now that this vote will go down by a 3-2 margin. But just the idea that they put it up is just incredible. Look, we have a big vacuum right now in Rhode Island when it comes to governance. The governor is thoroughly enjoying her, look, she's got a tough job, but she's thoroughly enjoying her almost independent executive authority. It has far exceeded its constitutional merit, in my judgment. The General Assembly has been sucking its thumb and doing everything else other than doing its job, hiding under a desk. They are so far behind on getting into this game. These are the kinds of problems that exist. There ought to be debate. There ought to be emergency legislation that the General Assembly has on its weekly agenda. They ought to be hearing the town council in Narragansett burp up that they want to open up. They should be facilitating these conversations, and they should be finding a way to do it with social distancing, COVID-19 protections, and the like. That this General Assembly has abdicated its responsibility to act has created this weird space where Governor Raimondo is way too powerful, and now we're going to get rogue groups like the Narragansett Town Council who will do their thing. It's time for the General Assembly to get back to work, and if you see a state rep or a state senator this weekend in your travels, mask or not, make sure that you ask them the question, how do you look yourself in the mirror and take your legislative salary doing nothing about your job? The governor, in the meantime, to her credit, when asked about this at the press conference, instead of saying, oh yeah, if they pull that, I'm sending in the state police, which of course is what she'll have to do. Instead of doing that, she more or less just said, that's irresponsible, that will undo everything we've got going, and that's selfish, which was, amongst the governor's moments, one of her best. We'll see what happens on Monday on the Zoom town council meeting that is planned for Narragansett. And lastly, the president announced today that he has now got 2 new leaders for a task force to get us a virus vaccine by the end of the year, which is great. And he's cheerleading the markets, and he's cheerleading us back into business. Of course, it has nothing to do with the November election. And what happens in October when they say, by the way, the virus vaccine, it's another 6 months or a year away? What's he do? Respond like my buddies in New Jersey and I would respond? It's kind of an old Jersey phrase. I'll clean it up. Uh, you messed up. You trusted me. Hang in there. Open debate on what we're doing here is welcome. Government anarchy, not good. Wash your hands. Try not to touch your face. Enjoy the weekend. And for all the graduates out there, I know it's bittersweet, but better days are coming.